Congratulations to reach to part 2 called inventions. We are going to discuss all 7 inventions one by one in sequence. Okay, the table which I've shown you earlier also here also. Okay, just to remind all readers, below is the table of products which will be discussed, referred as part of inventions and process improvement. Both process improvement corresponding to the invented product. Okay, both, right? See this table. Okay, now in part 1, the fundamentals have been identified, discussed for inventions, process improvements in perspective of a common man to understand the idea generations without claiming its originality behind the scene. We are never claiming what scientists was thinking. No, how a common man can conceive this fundamentals. Okay, a well-known phrase is must here to begin the part 2. Need is the mother of invention. Now in part 2, all the 7 inventions to be discussed again, but with an approach to understand the need, followed by deriving the solution based on the fundamental discussed in part 1. Let's continue the exciting journey. Okay, here we go. Let's discuss the invention number 1, telephone, the landline. Okay, now let's try to analyze the need fundamental behind this extremely useful device. Need. Based on delay in reaching the handwritten messages conveyed through messengers, there was a need for a system which can deliver the messages faster, enabling humans to deliver messages or speak in their own voice with the required stakeholder irrespective of their physical distance. This was the need. Okay, let's revisit the fundamentals. FI1, which stands for fundamental for invention number 1 in the part 1. What did we jot down there or pen down there? Or did we discuss? The fundamental one was invention based on natural power of living creatures, breaking the barriers or limitations for the same by a very big margin as required or needed, right? So the solution is in this table. We can see solution is telephone landline, fundamental is FI1, and what's natural power? It is trying to eliminate the limitation is hear and speak. Once the above system is in place, there was a need that the voice through this machine can reach to far off places. Hence the same was done through the landline phone cables. Okay, we can see a very old landline phone that was also helping human being by a very big way, right? That's great. Okay, now let's go to discuss further about this. Okay, so simple to generate, understand this great invention, isn't it? Now, one big fundamental to understand is every invented machine should get its food. Just like a human need food to perform any work, here is the example to hear, speak. Right? If you want to hear, I want to speak. Do we need some food? Yes, right? So any machine who is helping us also need food. Let's see this interesting fundamental. Okay, hence the machine invented also need to be fed with the suitable food to provide it with the energy required, and for this invention it came out to be electricity, direct electricity to the landline telephone. Okay, so the modified table you can see here, what is the invented product telephone, what is the fundamental FI1, what are the natural power based on which it is invented here in speak, and what is the food for this invented product? Electricity is direct. Okay, fantastic, simple again, right? Excellent. Now let's move to invention number 2. My dear readers, the exciting journey to understand the fundamentals behind inventions is continuing. Congratulations for reaching to second example. Now let's try to analyze the need fundamental behind the extremely useful transportation needs. Need. As a result of tiredness, delay in reaching the destination's proportions to its distance, there was a need for a system which can help reaching destination by reducing the tiredness, delay, etc. Okay, let's revisit the fundamental what FI1 talks about. Here I mentioned. See this page. Okay. Invention based on the natural power of living creature, breaking the barriers and limitations for the same by a very big margin as required or if needed. What is the solution? What is the invented product? Vehicle running with engine. Fundamental. FI1 still we have not reached to second, third, fourth. Relax, it is just FI1. See, natural power. we have used or inspired by walk and run. Okay. Engine used in vehicle was able to overcome the limitations of running or walking distance. So simple to generate, understand the above great invention, isn't it? See this one of the old vehicle. It was very useful that time. It was overcoming the limitation what God has given to any living creature, especially human being here. You can walk or run for a specific distance. You can feel tiredness also. You can never run across country, generally a person, or across the continent. So that's why these vehicles were developed. So now, in line with the big fundamental of identifying the suitable food, okay, for this machine, it came out to be petrol or diesel that time. We'll see in process improvement how it changed. Okay, so the modified table became what was the invented product? Vehicle running with engine. Fundamental still F1 relax. Okay, natural powers by which it was inspired. Walk and run. Food for the invented product. Petrol or diesel. Simple. Smashing. Okay, here we go with the invention number three. That is computer. Okay, my dear readers, the exciting journey to understand the fundamental behind the invention is continuing. Congratulations for reaching to third example. Now let's try to analyze the need fundamental behind the extremely useful digital device empowered to represent knowledge like human in terms of executing logic to deliver result. What was the need? Okay, let's see. As a result of unavailability of any device with logic capabilities, human involvement in the same was increasing workload for humans. Hence, a machine device was always needed for any kind of calculations, decision to be taken based on logic, reducing the workload of humans. Let's revise the fundamental two. Congratulations, we have reached to fundamental two. I hope you understood by heart fundamental one. Okay, let's discuss what was fundamental two in part one. FI2 talks about invention based on skills. Definitely superseding humans by a big margin in the same, but skills which can be developed, enhanced by living creature with their continuous effort. So logic, yes, inbuilt logic is given by nature of God to us, but we need to continuously improve it to get that maybe profession based on that skill, right? Okay, so solution invented product was desktop computer. Fundamental, very simple FI2. Skills, what were the skills? Inspired by human, which they can develop or enhance by their continuous effort is decision or result based on rational or developing logic or executing logic. Okay, logic stored in computer memory able to overcome the limitations of human brain to remember, to memorize rationals or logics. Wonderful, one of the old desktop I've shown here, but let's see how it is maybe transformed with the help of process improvement. Okay, and then so simple to generate, understand the above great invention, isn't it? And now, in line with the big fundamental of identifying the suitable food for this machine, it came out to be again electricity. Okay, good. So modified table, you can see what was the invented product, desktop computer. Fundamental FI2, skills based on which it was inspired by the human was decision or result based on rational executing logic, and food for the invented product electricity. Okay, simple again, right? Okay, fine. Invention number four, and that talks about camera. My dear readers, the exciting journey to understand the fundamental behind the invention is continuing, and congratulations for reaching to the fourth example. Now let's try to analyze the need to draw capture image of any object. A human had to draw image of any object manually, was increasing workload for humans. Accuracy was also low of the output. Hence, there was a need for a device which can draw image of objects, reducing the workload of humans, saving time, bringing more accuracy, quality. Okay, let's revise the fundamental two. Still, we have reached to fundamental two. There are two more, not maybe a big number. Okay, that's great. So let's revise the fundamental two for invention we discussed in part one. What does does fundamental 2 talks about? We discussed the same in invention number 3 also for computer, right? Invention based on skills which can be developed, enhanced by living creature with their continuous effort, but at the same time, the invention, machine, device, or structure superseding human by a big margin in the same. Okay, so solution, invented product, camera. Fundamental, very simple FI2. Skills based on which it is inspired is draw images of objects. Very nice. Okay. Camera device was able to overcome the limitations of human in terms of time required, accuracy, quality of the images drawn manually. So simple to generate and understand the above great invention, isn't it? Now, in line with the big fundamental of identifying the suitable food for this machine, is came out to be battery. Okay, so the modified table, invented product, camera, fundamental FI2, skills based on which it was inspired, draw images of objects, and suitable food was battery. Okay, simple again, right? Good. Here we go to discuss the invention number 5, that is none other than our great beautiful house. Okay, my dear readers, the exciting journey to understand, the fundamental behind the invention is continuing. Congratulations for reaching to the fifth example. Now let's try to analyze the need fundamental behind this extremely useful structure capable of providing safety, security to humans, living creatures. Need in simple words or sentences as a result of unavailability of any structure capable of securing human living creatures to protect from weather, improve living conditions, better hygiene, etc. Hence, there was a need to invent a structure capable of the above. Now let's go to the fundamental 3, FI3. What does it talk about? Invention based on providing safety, security, protect from weather, improve living condition, etc. for any living creature by any structure or device. Does it not fall under this invention? Fundamental? Yes, it is. Okay, so the solution, invented structure is house. What is fundamental? FI3. Security provided by this invention or structure is security from weather, animals, privacy, better living conditions. Okay, good. In this figure you can saw an old house that was also very useful. Till we'll see in process improvement how this structure is improved now. So maintenance in place of food. I'll talk about maintenance. It would I would put maintenance as the need for of the structure on regular intervals. Hence below is the modified table. Inventory structure is house, fundamental is FI3, security provided we saw from weather, animals, or privacy also, and the maintenance is whitewash, cleaning, repairing it on the regular intervals. Very nice, simple again, right? Very good. Okay, so now we have reached to the invention number 6, and that is washing machine. My dear readers, the exciting journey to understand the fundamental behind the inventions is continuing. Congratulations for reaching to the 6th example of this book. Now let's try to analyze the need fundamental behind one of the extremely useful machine capable of completing expedite day-to-day work for humans of washing clothes and may not fall under skilled work. I don't think any one of us take classes or trying to improve our skill to for any other reason. So that's why I'm not putting it in skilled work. Maybe it may have some exception for some kind of people, but that's fine. So need. As a result of unavailability of any machine capable of helping humans in completing expedite day-to-day work for human of which may not fall under skilled work, that is washing clothes. Hence there was need to invent machines capable of the above. Here we are discussing invention specific for washing clothes. Okay, let's revise the fundamental force. We have reached to the fundamental force. So we have touched upon now. We're going to touch upon all fundamentals. FI1, you remember. FI2, you remember. FI3, and now FI4. Good. So let's revise the fundamental 4 for invention. We're discussing part 1, what it was. Invention based on helping humans to complete work which may not fall in the category of skilled work, but still superseding human by a big margin in the same. by any machine or device. Okay, does it not fall into this? Yes, it does. Okay, solution: invented product, washing machine, fundamental invention FI4, capable of washing clothes. Okay, good. Washing machine was able to overcome the limitations of human in terms of time required, tiredness during washing clothes manually. So simple to generate and understand the above invention, isn't it? Okay, nice. So now you can see a picture of a old washing machine here. Now in line with the big fundamental of identifying the suitable food for this machine, it came out to be electricity. Okay. So the modified table: invented product, washing machine, fundamental, FI food, capable of washing clothes. Food for the invented product, electricity. Okay, simple again, right? Okay, now we reach to the seventh and last invention to be discussed as part of this book. That is none other than television, and it may come out to be combination of two fundamental for invention. Till now, all previous six invention were based on single fundamental. This is the example of combining two of the fundamental for invention. That was very much needed to discuss, because that can form a big pillar to understand any other invention or to generate idea also. Okay, here I go. My dear readers, the exciting journey to understand the fundamental behind the invention is continuing. Congratulations for reaching to the seventh and last example for this book. Now let's try to analyze the need fundamental behind one of the extremely useful machine capable of telecasting any function event from any corner of the planet to any distance with live video and audio streaming or as recorded program. Need as a result of unavailability of any machine capable of telecasting any function event from any corner of the planet to any distance with live video and audio streaming or as recorded program. Humans had to travel and be present physically if they wanted to see any of them. This was consuming time and heavy cost. Hence, there was a need to invent a machine capable of the above. Now, let's revise the fundamental 1 and 2. This invention is the combination of FI1 and FI2. Let's see what we discussed in part 1. What was FI1? Okay, let me read out. See this page also. Okay, FI1, what we discussed: invention based on natural power of living creature, but at the same time breaking the barriers or limitations for the same by a very big margin as required or needed. And what was FI2? Invention based on skill which can be developed, enhanced by living creature with the continuous effort, but the machine or device or the invention must supersede human by a big margin in the same. So is it not a combination of these two? Let's see how in the table. What is the invented product? Television. What are the fundamental based on which it is invented? 2 FI1, FI2. Natural power to speak. What limitation it has overcome also to see through our eyes for a specific horizon. If there is an event, match, a program is going on, maybe certain horizon of my eyes, I can see that. But if it is happening in another city or maybe another corner in the same city or in another country or in another subcontinent, can you and me see that? No, we have to go there physically. So the limitation of our vision is also overcome, and at the same time, it has a natural power to speak. Okay, so now skills develop. What skills it develop? Drawing the object in millisecond, within seconds it is drawing about that event, what is happening, to show us and helping us to overcome the limitation of our eyesight or the horizon. At the same time, Hannah has a natural power to speak continuously, giving the live commentary from the same what the people are talking there. Okay, now television towers, antenna communication was able to overcome the limitations of human by telecasting events taking place at far of the places to any corner of the world, having TV towers, antenna communication enabled. So simple to generate, understand the above great invention is it? Now in line with the big fundamental of identifying the suitable food for this machine is came out to be electricity. Okay, good. Electricity is very important. Okay, so the modified table you can see here: invented product television, fundamental two combination of two FI1 FI2. We understood. Natural power, it has power to speak, means it is able to speak in the voice of those people who are doing something or recording. their voice and then speaking for us. Okay, and skills develop or inspired by drawing the images for a big number of objects also within milliseconds. So we are getting impression as if we are there physically where the event is taking place. Okay, simple again, right? Good.